Hey, you know I have a Twitch, right? I stream every day during these times and I'm very lonely, bro. And I take all kinds of video requests. So I'd be happy to see you there, link in the description. This video includes accounts of violence, attempted and child abuse inside North Korean prison camps. If such content is upsetting, try not to watch it alone. There is your warning, everybody, alright? Last warning, alright? And I might get banned, I might get striked. I don't care, bro. Here we go. Jesus, that's loud. Let me turn that shit down.
Class is about to start for these 40 school kids. Like every week, the teacher starts searching everyone's pockets. This time, he finds something on a little girl. 5 kernels of grain. The teacher snaps and commands the girl to come up front. She has to kneel down on the hard concrete floor.
Who are you talking to, bro, Chacho? No one! No one, bro. I'm like, what do you mean? I'm a small content creator. Who am I supposed to be talking to, man? Damn.
With a wooden stick,
Well, hey, welcome to the stream, though.
he strikes her on the head. Again,
Okay,
and
wait, what the hell is going on? Wait. Okay, so she has 5 grains, or 5 pieces of grain in her pocket, and she's getting abused for it.
to come up front. She has to kneel down on the hard concrete floor.
This video was crazy, not gonna lie. Have you seen it? I mean, it has 1 million views, so I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, it's about, I haven't watched it yet. It's about this place called Camp 14, so. And it put a disclaimer in the beginning of the video, so, you know.
With a wooden stick,
Yo, what's good, Cooking with Broski? Haven't seen you in a minute, man. I'm watching a video about North Korea. And it might be graphic, because they put a disclaimer in the beginning of the video. Just so that we all know.
he strikes her on the head. Again, and again, and again, and again. Her classmates watch in silence. The beating goes on until the little girl collapses. Afterwards, her classmates carry her home. The same night, she dies. The little girl and the other 39 children are all inmates in one of North Korea's deadliest prison camps, Camp 14.
Comparisons have been drawn.
Wait. Prison camp? Oh, hell no. They got children in prison camps? I mean, it's North Korea, so I guess maybe we shouldn't be surprised. Is this a residential school? No, it's some kind of, prison camp or something. Damn, bro, they got children locked up in there, man.
To the Nazi death camps, to the Soviet Gulag. You know, they're accurate, and in their own way, they're different.
A lawless detention facility hidden in the mountains of Kaeshan, a place where people are imprisoned for the crimes of their parents. Once you end up here, you will most likely die here.
This is truly a space that is outside humanity, let me say that.
Prisoners are forced to work under inhumane conditions. The smallest mistake can cost them their lives. Escape is almost impossible. Only a handful make it out, risking everything on deadly routes.
Fire animation, by the way.
In North
Fire
Korea,
animation.
there are several of these death camps, and the regime has kept them a secret for decades.
Kept them a secret? What, am I supposed to be surprised? Am I supposed to be surprised? Bro, it's North Korea, man. Whatever secrets they have, I mean, it wouldn't surprise me. Oh, what the hell? Oh, I got an ad and I can just skip it. Well, that's convenient.
But through the relentless work of human rights organizations, satellite imagery, and reports from survivors, we can have a glimpse at these facilities. Why are people being sent to Camp 14? What does daily life look like inside its walls? What horrors do the inmates face? And how do people actually get out? This is the story of the most horrific prison camp in North Korea. This story is based on Escape from Camp 14 by Blaine Harden. One former prisoner of Camp 14 later changed parts of his story. Every time you see this symbol, it marks those revisions. If you want to know more about the exact changes and the reasons behind them, we recommend reading this article. Since North Korea denies the existence of these camps, independent verification is not possible. Shin Dong-hyuk is just a young boy when he witnesses the little girl being punished for having food in her pocket. Shin has no doubt she deserved it. After all, she stole food. And at Camp 14...
Oh, hell no! Stole food? How is that even food, man? Like, 5 pieces of grain is food in North Korea. Actually, you know what? Now that I think about it, that actually makes sense. No, like, they were probably starving so badly there that, yeah, 5 pieces of grain probably is considered food.
Stealing means death. He doesn't question it. He knows nothing else. The camp rules are his reality. Shin was born in Camp 14, but his parents didn't fall in love. They were assigned to each other by prison guards. Intimacy between men and women is strictly forbidden. If a woman becomes pregnant without permission, both she and the baby are shot. In Camp 14, there is only one way to have a child: promotion. Those who work hard, and more importantly, snitch on others, may be granted a reward marriage. This is how Shin Dong-hyuk and his older brother Shin Hee-gyun come into the world. But they don't grow up as a real family. Their mother never talks about the past. Shin has no clue why his parents were imprisoned, and it probably wouldn't matter anyway.
It's all about suspicion. You know, you don't have to be an anti-regime character. But if you're suspected of being anti-regime, of being a wrongdoer, a wrong thinker, of having engaged in wrong associations, they will send you to the camp.
This is Greg Scarlatoiu. He's president and CEO of HRNK, the Washington-based Committee on Human Rights in North Korea. For years, Greg and his team have been investigating human rights abuses at these camps. Like many others, Shin will most likely stay in Camp 14 for the rest of his life, even though he never committed a crime. This is the house Shin and his mother live in.
Like, I'm sorry, bro. That is mental. Like, yeah, like, you just, one day you just exist. Yeah, you're imprisoned. I mean, to be fair, like, North Korea is so good at keeping themselves isolated that as a child in these prison camps, yeah, this would just be your life. I mean, you'd probably get used to it, to be honest. And you wouldn't know anything about real freedom. They're basically, it's kind of like living, you know, back in the day, 200, 300 years ago. I mean, 300 years ago, we would have no idea what kind of technological advancements we would make. So, we were chilling, bro. We were chilling in the dark ages and through wars and all of that shit. It's like, humans just kind of adapt to their circumstances.
Along with his mother's promotion came slightly better housing. They share it with 3 other families and sleep on the floor. There is a single light bulb in the kitchen. Electricity works for just 2 hours a day. There's no running water, no furniture, no shower, and barely enough food to survive.
We're using whiteboards every day.
Yeah, I don't want whiteboards! I don't...
As a fully remote agency, whiteboards let us
Let
collaborate.
me skip it. Can I say something? 5 seconds is too long. Shorten it to 3, okay? I know that YouTube can do it in 3 seconds, alright? Because 5 seconds feels like an hour, okay? When I'm watching shit like that.
The building is part of a model village, one of many. Camp 14 is estimated to cover around 153 square kilometers, almost 3 times the size of Manhattan. It is secured by a 60-kilometer fence, patrol paths, barracks, guard posts, and checkpoints. The whole area stretches from river valleys to mountain peaks. The wilderness and the Taedong River act as a natural barrier, an immense obstacle course separating the facility from the outside world. Little villages are scattered across the vast area, containing housing and working units.
These are sprawling facilities. They're very large facilities. So at some of these facilities, you see farming, agriculture going on. You see some of these facilities that are adjacent to coal mines or other types of mineral exploitation.
Researching and animating topics like these take a lot of time. We worked for
Yeah, I
months
can
on just this
imagine.
video with the
I
help of
can
more than a dozen
imagine.
people. And this wouldn't be possible without our sponsor, Brilliant. Brilliant
I'm
is
gonna
an
skip
interactive
this, though,
learning
I'm
app
sorry.
and the best to
Oh, my
electricity link in the description. Get a 20% discount on annual premium subscriptions, which gives you unlimited access to everything Brilliant offers. The camp has its own railroad network and generates its own electricity. And it also has a school. This is where Shin goes every day. His teacher wears a guard's uniform, carries a weapon, and teaches obedience.
I'm pretty sure that this guy can legally just kill all of them. Actually, who even knows, man? In North Korea, you go to prison for anything. Wouldn't it be funny if it's actually illegal that he kills these children? Like, oh, you weren't allowed to do that. Now you're gonna be sent to death in prison. And the kids will also be sent to death in prison if they steal just a little bit of food. I don't know, in North Korea, you go to prison for anything, really. Like, no one is safe, bro. Unless you're Kim, I guess.
Above all else. Camp rules are brutal. There are 10 of them. Even the smallest violation can lead to execution. Shin
Oh, well, never mind. Okay. Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure he's allowed to legally execute them, yeah.
summarizes them all. Rule 1. Any witness to an attempted escape who fails to report it will be shot immediately. Rule 3. Anyone who steals or conceals any foodstuffs will be shot immediately. Rule 5. Anyone who holds or hides a fugitive's possessions, conspires with him, or fails to report him will be shot immediately. The guards enforce the rules without mercy.
내가 총을 꾸며서 뭐 쏘거나 해도 하나 뭐 가책을 느끼지 않았어요. 일반적으로 우리는 그때 써도 나라를 지키기 위해서 내가 한 일이기 때문에.
No shit! No fucking shit! No shit! And even if you do think it's immoral, what are you gonna do about it? Complain? Oh, that's prison time for you. And your entire family. Yep. And the 2 next generations. And your kids and your grandkids. So, yeah, just get used to it, buddy. Alright, sit down, have a cup of coffee, prepare for execution next week. This is the life we live, bro. Just love the game. I'm sorry if I was being loud there. I don't really know how loud it is, or how loud I am when I do that, but hopefully it's not too bad.
그 수용소에는 그 들어오게 되면 사람이 아니에요. 사람이 아니고 그 뭐 내 마음대로 해도 돼요. 그 안에 사람.
But wait, who are these people, bro? Did they escape North Korea? And they've been guards? How did they even get witnesses? What? You're not allowed to leave the country. How did they get these people?
그 자리에서 죽이겠으면 죽이고 살리겠으면 살리고 하는 건 내 마음이에요. 뭐 설명해 주세요.
Across North Korea, there are different types of detention facilities. The worst of them are called Kwanliso. Camp 14 is one of them. It's also called a total control zone.
People never get out of those. You know, they just waste away. They get killed by this vicious cycle of malnutrition and forced labor.
Shin's mother has to work the rice fields, 10 to 15 hours of hard labor every day. If she meets her quota, she receives food, just enough to survive the night and make it through the next day.
North Korea is all about production targets. If you don't meet them, and probably you will
Also, I just want to say this. Just a little shout out to Fern, alright? Subscribe to Fern. I'm gonna say it now before I forget because these animations are low-key insane.
meet them, you'll get less food, more work, less food, more work, and that's how you waste away and die. That's, you know, the truly tragic story at these camps.
From the moment Shin starts school, his life is split between the classroom and hard labor in the coal mine. Long workdays are made worse by a constant gnawing hunger. Before school, Shin often eats his mother's portion while she's still out in the fields. She beats him for it, but he does it anyway. To him, she's not a source of love or care. She's a rival in the fight for every meager scrap of food. This is Shin's meal, served 3 times a day for his entire prison life. If he makes a mistake, his portion is cut in half as punishment.
Golly, bro. North Korea is so crazy.
Sometimes he and the other inmates catch rats, the only source of meat in Camp 14. For Shin, this isn't as much as a nightmare. It's normal life. He has never
Well, yeah, it's normal life, but it's still crazy, man. Like, they will never have a good day in their lives, man. Like, I'd rather you have them executed at this point. Like, if I was in one of these camps, and it was just day after day of this shit, even if I was used to it, it would still get repetitive. And we're talking years of being in here, man. Nah, just shoot me at that point, bro. Right here. Like, I wouldn't even complain. Like, low key.
Never seen the world beyond the barbed wire. Unlike this man. Kim Young is in his mid-40s when he's brought to Camp 14. He knows the world outside very well. In fact, he was a high-ranking military officer and vice president of a state-owned company. In his former life, he enjoyed culture, a chauffeur, and all the benefits of being a government employee. Now he's also forced to work in the coal mines. Kim didn't break any laws to get here. His parents did. In North Korea, this form of collective punishment is called yunjoje, guilt by association. Up to 3 generations can be punished for crimes of family members. When Kim was a child, his father and brother were accused of spying for the United States, enough to execute them. After that, Kim was brought to an orphanage under a new name. It took more than 40 years until someone found out about his true heritage. Even Kim himself wasn't aware of the supposed crimes his family allegedly committed.
There's absolutely no judicial process. This is extrajudicial punishment. They'll just, take you away in the middle of the night, together with your family members. You just disappear. That's how it goes.
대낮에 잡아가는 건 없어요. 다 밤에 그냥 원래 그냥.
Who is this guy, bro? Like, what, are they filming a site in North Korea? Like, I'm just wondering, like, where he came from. So he's a guard, he escaped North Korea, I guess. And what? Where is this? The United States?
나 어느 순간에 와서 싹 다 쓸어 가고 정치범 수용소에 가서도 그 가족들은 우리가 뭘 잘못해서 왔는지 그걸 모른다는 거죠.
And why is he talking like why is he if okay, I don't know what the context is, but if he is in the United States while saying this, why is he talking in a way that a country like a democratic country like the United States would like? You know, like he's saying stuff like, "Oh, we never felt guilt." It just seems a little weird. It's as if he's saying it very well from his perspective in a way that the Western world can understand. You know what I mean? Because in the Western world, human rights is just so obvious that we expect answers like that.
Fear is the most powerful tool for prison guards to keep inmates in line. During Kim's time in Camp 14, a total of 25 inmates are executed. One day, he witnesses a fellow prisoner being killed for collecting chestnuts that had fallen from a tree. Kim spends most of his days underground, hours and hours of endless work with no sunlight and no mercy. Kim struggles. He's never faced labor like this before. Mistakes are inevitable, and every one of them is met with the punishment of a guard who never leaves his side. One day, a guard strikes Kim with the butt of his gun till he falls unconscious. For the next 2 days, he only receives half his meals. After more than 2 months of living like this in Camp 14, Kim decides to end it. Following a long day of work, he steps into the elevator of a mining shaft. The metal cage ascends until it reaches a height of around 2,000 feet. He pulls the safety pin, and the elevator falls. But Kim survives.
Yeah, I would do the... Wait, what did he just say?
Elevator falls. But Kim survives, and
Nah, can you actually imagine if that shit happened to you? No, like, God literally made sure that you were born in North Korea with a fucking purpose, and he keeps you alive? Why does he want you to suffer so badly? He brings you to North Korea and makes you live after a suicide attempt. No, like, this is just straight up, like, oh, this is so mental. This is so mental, man. God, like, they're really treating their own people like this.
the vicious cycle goes on. When Shin is about 6 or 7, the camp's borders shift. His village is merged into the neighboring Camp 18, just across the river. It's said to be slightly less brutal than Camp 14, but for Shin, life hardly changes at all. Shin is 15 and has moved out from his mother's home. He now lives with his father.
Wait, oh wait, maybe this isn't a real person. Maybe this is just a made up person, but he's like a good example. So when they said that, oh, he was trying to kill himself and he survived, maybe that wasn't a true story.
One day, a teacher allows Shin to spend the night at his mother's house, a reward for good behavior. When he arrives, another guest awaits. It's his brother, Shin Hee-gyun. The 21-year-old works at the prison cement factory, a couple of miles away. Shin doesn't like him at all. In the middle of the night, Shin wakes up from his sleep. He hears voices from the kitchen. His brother is talking about escape. His mother seems to support him. Shin's first instinct, he has to report this. He goes to a nearby dorm room and wakes a friend to ask for advice. The friend urges Shin to tell the guards. They go to the school's night guard on duty and report the escape plot. Shin also signs a false police statement, claiming he saw his mother and brother commit murder. This piece of evidence ultimately leads to an execution order. The guards
Okay, so if you wait, so if you say that you saw someone get murdered, that's just evidence, like just automatically. Damn, bro. Like, no, like this is actually a PvP server in that case. This is like a free roam PvP server, except it's not. It's like there's no freedom at all, really.
take Shin to an execution site next to the Taedong River. A crowd has gathered to watch.
No, like North Korea just likes to kill its own people. Like it just likes to make its own people suffer. That's really all it is. Or should I say, Kim likes to make his own people suffer.
They drag out his mother and his brother. They're killed in front of Shin's eyes.
Yeah, I don't ever want to hear a single person talk about some sunshine and rainbow mentality again, bro. Like, good lord. Like, that's the thing. A lot of people in 2025 and before that too are complaining about, like, you know, like politics and like just like stuff that I just find really weird and like unnecessary. I'm not gonna say what it is, but like I just feel like people complain a lot about a lot of small things. Like, dude, at least you're not here, man. Like, at least you're not fucking here. Please, man. Like, yeah, I complain too, but I'm still grateful over stuff like this. Trust me, okay? Trust me on that one.
In 1996, Kim Young is transferred to Camp 18. To him, this place feels like heaven. The labor conditions are slightly better, and to his surprise, he reunites with his 70-year-old mother, who is also a prisoner here.
Ain't no way, bro. Like, how long do they have these people locked up for, man? They got your mom from, 20 or 30 years old until 70. That's like 40 years already. Then, her son, another what? Like, I'm guessing it's life too. Like, until you die from like a heart, from like some kind of medical condition.
But the violence and abuse don't stop. One day, he has to witness how guards beat up his mother and force her to do manual labor. His mother is certain they will both die in the camp.
Like, it's just so hopeless, man. Like, this is probably one of the most hopeless videos I've ever seen. Like, they can't even end their own lives, man. This kind of reminds me of... Wait, let me just move the chat real quick. There we go. It kind of reminds me of... I mean, you probably haven't read that story, but, like, there's this book called, like, I Have No Mouth, but I Must Scream. And basically, the whole story is just about how an AI, like, basically takes over the world and then tortures these 5 people by keeping them alive forever somehow. I don't really know how the AI does that, but it's an AI, so it probably knows how to do that. And yeah, the whole story is just hopeless. These 5 people that are randomly picked out, by the way, have just been wandering around this transformed Earth for like 120 years, and they've all been starving for 120 years, but they haven't died, and some of their bodies have been like deformed because like let's say they have an insecurity and the AI would like mess with their bodies and like turn them into like things that they hated, and like for 120 years there was nothing they could do, and they were just starving and walking around. And then one day, they actually, I think the squad of 5 people, one of them, the main character, manages to kill the other 4 people, which, by the way, is a very good ending, because that's basically saying, all right, you're no longer suffering. Yeah, I know you just died, but yeah, you're not suffering anymore, all right? You don't have to go year after year, day after day, minute after hour of just pure starvation anymore, okay? You're free. And the main character, who was the one who killed all of these 5 people, well, I mean, just as he was about to kill himself, he kind of got caught lacking by the AI. Like, the AI caught him and punished him by turning him into like some kind of blob. And yeah, and then he just had to exist and suffer forever. Yeah, forever. Because the thing is, the AI that was created cannot die in the story, but it has like general intelligence, like consciousness. So the AI will exist forever and suffer, and wants to make this character suffer with him, basically, or with it. So yeah, a really weird but also really hopeless story. This just reminds me of that, like just a very hopeless situation. Like a very, very hopeless situation.
Even though it means risking his life, she urges
At least they don't gotta live for 120 years, but...
Kim to leave her behind and escape.
Honestly, like, I didn't even think of that. Like, low-key, an escape is totally worth it. Like, if you get caught, you get shot and you die. So what? That's like the better option. Like, this dude just tried to end it before. Yeah, nah, low-key. If I was in this camp, I would escape, alright? Or get shot trying. And if I fail and they torture me, I'll just have to eat that and then try again until they kill me. Cause ain't no way I'm doing this shit for years on end, just working in some kind of farm. Hell fucking no! God, I would lose my mind, bro. Like at first I said, oh, you know, if I was in this camp, you know, I would adapt because I'd be used to it. I don't think so. No, I think I'd lose my mind. You're just doing the same shit over and over again, and you're starving, and you have no like good social relations or anything.
Escaping from a North Korean death camp is almost impossible.
You know, these are highly protected facilities. You're talking barbed wire, walls, armed guards, intersecting lines of fire.
You should still try. Try to make the guards shoot you, please.
We're talking machine guns. Very, very difficult to escape. I mean, it's, you know, difficult to escape a detention facility in any civilized country. You know, imagine North Korea.
King Young quietly studies his surroundings. He observes, waits, and starts thinking. He lays out multiple escape plans, but none of them seem doable to him. Another hard day of work. The prisoners are loading coal onto a train. Suddenly, they spot something. Grain scattered across the bottom of a train car. It must have transported food before. The scene explodes into chaos. Prisoners drop everything, desperately looking for the tiniest speck of food.
What?
The guards start shouting, but no one listens. Kim discovers a narrow space beneath a metal panel in the floor of a coal wagon. He squeezes inside, and as the train rumbles out of Camp 18, he rides with it. Hours later, the train reaches Go-On Station at around 4 a.m. We don't know exactly how, but Kim manages to crawl out of his hideout and disappears into the night.
Wait, what do you mean we don't know exactly how? This is a real person? Oh, hell. Nah. Ain't no way, bro. And he escaped, what, he's out of North Korea now? Like... I mean, if this guy is real, how do we have an actual story about him? How do we know who he is?
Kim successfully escaped Camp 18, but his path to freedom is still very long. After finding a worker's uniform, he changes clothes and starts...
Yeah, good luck escaping North Korea now. Yeah, you're not allowed to leave North Korea either. So not only are you not allowed to leave Camp 14, you can't leave North Korea either, alright? Guards everywhere, bro, with one purpose, bro. to stop you from leaving.
Treacherous journey that will take him many months through China and Mongolia to South Korea, where he'll eventually seek asylum.
Like, bro, look at this try-hard-ass strap, bro. He can't just go to South Korea. No. He has to go, first of all, escape North Korea. That's going to be difficult enough as it is. Make it through China, which, by the way, is allied with North Korea. So I'm pretty sure that... Actually, I don't really know what they do, but they might send you back. I don't really know what China's going to do if they catch you, but... You know, it's pretty likely that you get caught in China, alright? Especially when you have to wander this amount of distance. This is a crazy distance. Then you have to go to Mongolia. Which, by the way, I don't even know if you guys know this, but right here is a giant desert, alright? I think it's called like the Gobi Desert or something. And, yeah, I mean, it's a fucking desert, so it's pretty straightforward. Deserts are not the place you want to be in when escaping, because, you know, no food, no water, none of that shit. So yeah, and if you somehow are the main character, alright, if you're somehow immortal and survive that shit, then you have to somehow take a flight. How would you even do that? A flight from Mongolia to South Korea legally.
China and Mongolia to South Korea, where he'll eventually seek asylum. Escaping a prison is one thing.
Ain't no way, bro.
Escaping the country is another. We made a whole video on how to escape North Korea. Link is in the description. Shin also manages to escape from Camp 18 twice, both times by crawling under a fence. Both times he's recaptured. After his second attempt, Shin is sent back to Camp 14 and is thrown into a special detention center, a place with only one purpose: torture.
Yeah. Like, oh my god, it's so brutal, man. If you even try to escape, they don't even kill you. They are going to, like, what do they even do? Do they skin you? Like, no, I need to know what kind of torture we're talking about here.
I still have the scars of my...
Is this him? Nah, is this him? No. Yo. But, okay, that must mean he actually, his plan worked. That he got to Mongolia and then to South Korea. That means that his plan actually worked. Holy shit. No, I need to... if you don't drop every single piece of lore on what happened to this dude, I'm gonna crash out.
My torture and the burns. Look at my arms. My arms aren't normal. They are bent and deformed. Before I was tortured, my arms were straight.
Oh, hell no. Oh, this, bro, prayers to this guy, man. I'm not religious, but prayers to this guy. Like, can you imagine?
When I was tortured, my arms were tied up with a rope and pulled backwards. That made them more and more bent. I'm filled with anger when I stand in front of the mirror and look at my body after a shower.
Yeah, I'm also filled with anger. Like, look, bro. I know North Korea was a bad place, but this shit is absolutely... Like, this is actually, like... I'm pretty sure this is, like, the worst thing you can do to a person. Alright? You're born, you haven't done anything, boom, you're in prison. You're in a labor camp. You're not executed, alright? Instead, you're just in a constant existing environment that's torturous, alright? Little food, little social contact, you know, no screens. All you do is just labor for years after years after years. And if you try to escape from that hellhole, you don't get killed. No, you get tortured, alright? Brutally. You get to feel every ounce of pain. Like, this is the most brutal thing you can do to a human, bro. This is the most brutal thing you can do to a human, bro. Like, this makes the multiple forms of execution, like, look like heaven, in my opinion.
After 4 weeks of torture, he's thrown into a pitch...
Yeah, and then I get hit with an ad, and I just kind of got a reality check, bro. Like, the people who are in that ad, bro, oh my god, bro, their lives are so good. And my life is also so good. Oh my god, dude.
Black cell. No windows and barely enough space to lie down. There he'll spend the next 6 months. After his release,
I'm sorry, what did you just say?
after 4 weeks of torture, he's thrown into a pitch black cell.
This dude just said 4 weeks of torture. This dude just said 4 weeks of torture. Yo. No, this is like one of the craziest videos I've ever reacted to. This is actually one of the most sick videos I've ever reacted to, bro. No, this is, oh my god, man. What is this life, man? What, this life is just...
No windows and barely enough space to lie down. There he'll spend the next 6 months. After his release, Shin is thrown back to the general prison population. He has to work in the coal mine, the farm fields, and eventually in a garment factory. This is where he meets Park Young-chul, a man unlike anyone Shin has ever seen. Born into an elite family, Park once held a prestigious job and had seen the world beyond North Korea's borders.
Yeah, well, what happened, bro? Did your father steal some bread? Why are you in here? I mean, it's a shame.
By then, Shin already knows he's on the execution list. With Park at his side, he begins planning what will be Shin's third and final escape. Shin and Park are assigned to do some woodwork up in the mountains, along with some prisoners. They're chopping wood near the outer fence. The camp's fence is around 10 feet high and lined with high-voltage barbed wire. The next guard tower is a quarter of a mile away.
Like, they're actually just tryharding this. No, like, North Korea is trying so hard to make their population's life so miserable. They are trying their very best to make their own people's life as miserable as possible. They're sweating. They're sweating. That's how much they're tryharding. Oh, I just muted.
Between them where no guard is close enough to spot the two. The plan is simple. Wait until dusk so that their footprints can't easily be traced in the snow. They slip through the high-voltage wires without touching them. As the sun sets, Shin and Park move closer to the fence. They hack branches, pretending to stack wood. Nobody notices them. Park hesitates. Shin's heart races. He grabs Park's hand and they run. Shin slips. Park reaches the fence before him. He tries to squeeze his head between the two lowest wires and hits one of them. Park's body is not moving. The bottom wire bends under his weight, creating a narrow gap. Shin crawls over Park's body. He is almost past the fence when his legs slip, hitting one of the wires. The voltage tears through him. His pants char. His skin burns from ankle to knee. But somehow he makes it through. Park's body lies dead on the fence. Shin runs without looking back for 2 hours straight until he realizes that he made it. He manages to cross the river to China, and after a journey of almost 2 years, he finally reaches South Korea. These are all the prison camps that are most likely active in North Korea today. According to Greg Scarlatoiu, the camps are changing, and not for the better.
What? What did you just say to me? Not for the better. I'm sorry, that's not possible. No, like, these camps are designed to be as awful as possible. What? No, just tell me, what on earth makes this worse? I genuinely want to know. Like, the only thing I can think of to make this worse is that every morning you get a small torture session, and by small I mean like 2 or 3 hours, then you do labor. And then before you go to bed, another torture session. And then you go to bed, and then you wake up and repeat. And the same principle. If you try to escape, no, we don't even kill you. You know, we might shoot you in the legs to prevent you from running. Then we bring you in, torture you for 4 weeks straight. Yep, that's right, 4 weeks. And then we're going to throw you in a cell with no light, no social interaction for 6 months. All right, that's half a year. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. Like, what do you mean? What do you mean they're not changing for the better? It's not possible, man.
Camps near the border have reportedly been moved further inland, likely to make escape even harder. And some new internal perimeters have appeared, possibly to isolate high-value prisoners.
The third development in terms of infrastructure, evolution and development has been the creation of watchtowers and what appears to be intersecting lines of fire around the camps that would be meant to basically exterminate those who attempt to leave those camps.
For some camps, evidence is even scarcer.
There's one camp that we know very little about, and that's Camp 16, 1-6. That's very close to the Punggye-ri nuclear testing facility. And I've spoken with the South Korean nuclear scientists who said, look, we don't believe that prisoners are used in digging those tunnels for the nuclear tests, but it is very likely that they will be, used and abused while cleaning up after those nuclear tests.
The HRNK.
Can you believe that, how many years ago is it now? 1960, that's 40 years. So about 60 years ago. Can you believe that around 60 years ago, when the Korean War was going on, because that was like somewhere between 1950, 1960, I don't remember the exact times, how, there was a war between the North and the South, because, Korea had just gotten liberated from Japan, and, North and South Korea didn't really exist. I mean, they just became new countries, right? Because they were divided between the Soviet Union and the United States. Could you, I wonder what especially in South Korea, if they could have ever imagined, what kind of split that would create. I wonder how thankful they are for them to be, not only born in South Korea, but those who lived in South Korea at that time, the fact that they were supported by the United States. Because remember, back in the day, it was all just a Cold War, all right? I wouldn't be surprised if many saw the Soviet Union and the United States as the same thing, just two power-hungry countries that just wanted territory, which was true. I mean, that was basically what it is, or what it was, trying to instill their two systems into the countries. So I wouldn't be surprised if that's how they saw it back then. But maybe when they look at it now and see the difference between their northern neighbors that are suffering like this, unimaginable suffering, compared to, a very nice life in South Korea. I mean, man, can you imagine that? I'm Swedish, right? And I live in the south of Sweden. So if we take that concept, and I live in South Sweden, all right? Which is basically South Korean laws, all of that stuff. And in the north, where people that are just like me speak the exact same language are just subjected to this, just because they still happen to be born in the north. And it's just completely isolated. No one can leave. They have nuclear weapons. Golly.
Estimates that up to 100.
Because they're both Koreans. There's a reason it's called North and South Korea. Korean people live there. They speak the same language, I think.
1,000 people are currently held in North Korean prison camps. In fact, as a viewer of this video, you might know more about them than most North Koreans ever will.
Wait, what?
In fact, as a viewer of this, 120,000 people are currently held in North Korean prison camps. In fact, as a viewer of this video, you might know more about them than most North Koreans ever will.
We have to remember that these people are being tortured and maimed today. They were tortured and maimed yesterday, and the same will happen tomorrow. So, I think it's a matter of moral, ethical, religious, and political obligation to continue to maintain our interest in these issues.
This is
I mean, I know that there are countries that are immoral, but oh my god. This is it's the worst possible outcome. That's the thing. It doesn't get worse. You're basically doing the worst thing you can to a human being, which is torture them. And keeping them alive for as long as possible, and not executing them, not killing them. You're just keeping them alive. And just using time to make them go insane.
Today, he gradually adjusted to a life in society and became a public speaker and advocate for human rights in North Korea.
Like, bro, what do you mean how do you make that change?
To a life in society and became a public speaker and advocate for human rights in North Korea. In 2015, Shin Dong-hyuk retracted parts of his story and admitted to changing certain key details in Escape from Camp 14. The book's author published a detailed statement outlining every change Shin had made. According to Shin, some memories were simply too painful and others too shameful to share truthfully at the time. This is a common reaction for victims of torture, who often cope by suppressing or distorting their accounts of what really happened. Greg Scarlatoiu and others believe Shin's changes don't alter the fundamental truth of his reports.
Was Shin Dong-hyuk a political prisoner? Yes, 100%. Okay, he spent some time both at Camp 14 and Camp 18, right across the river. Did he witness the execution of his mother and brother? Yes, he did. So the fundamental elements of Shin Dong-hyuk's story did not change.
Shin bears the scars, physical and psychological. They leave little.
Bro, and we don't even hear about this guy. Shout out to Shin Dong-hyuk, bro. Shout out to this guy, bro. Like, are we dead ass? No, because see, if I went through this, I would want to be the most famous person in the world. How come I hear about this guy just now?
Doubt about the abuse and torture he endured.
Nah. Pray for that man, bro. Like, it's almost like I can't even believe it. Like, how can you? Like, I don't know. Is he living a normal life now? Does he have a job? Like, what's he up to now, bro? What's he doing these days? Cause like, I don't know, man. I mean, I guess it's all memory now, but like, I mean, once again, as a punishment for escaping, they put you in a dark cell for 6 months. 6 months. 6 months. Like, what are we doing, bro? Do you know how? 6 months. How long have I had my YouTube channel? 8 months. That's a little more, and it feels like I've had my channel forever. It feels like I've had it forever. It feels like I've had it my whole life. And he's been in a dark room where he couldn't do anything for 6 months. And that's after being tortured, by the way, for 4 weeks straight. Oh my god, they should have shot him. I'm not even joking. I mean, obviously, the best outcome was this outcome, you know, the fact that he escaped. But I'm talking, like, for the other prisoners who will never escape North Korea. God, like, just, like, as a guard, just pretend to mess up. Like, oh, I accidentally killed the prisoner. Oh, that's a shame. Well, I mean, what can we do? Or do you think the guard who accidentally killed the inmate will suffer the same fate? Yeah, I mean, maybe that's why the guards are so willing to do this, because they don't want to end up in there themselves. Oh my god. No, this was actually traumatizing, bro. Shout out to what was his name, bro? Shin Dong-hyuk. Shout out to Shin Dong-hyuk. Also shout out to Fern for making this video. Very informative. I feel like this should have more than 1 million views, to be honest, because this needs to be spread. 45,000 likes. It's not that much, bro. We need to have more likes on this video. In fact, I'll go ahead and like it. It left an impact on me. Now, what do I do now, bro?